British nationality law is considered to be one of the most complex laws in the world. This is partially because of Britain's history and historical relationship with other countries over the last couple of centuries. Hello, my friends. My name is Svetlana Shlapak, and I'm a senior immigration solicitor and university lecturer based in London, UK. I won my first immigration case at the tribunal back in 2003, and over the last 16 years, I was on a mission to help you guys understand the challenging and incredibly fast changing nature of UK immigration law by deconstructing and explaining immigration rules and showing you how they work in practice. If you are confused about British nationality law, you are very welcome to subscribe to my free channel and explore this British nationality law video series where I'm explaining every single aspect of a British nationality law, as this will help you shift from confusion to clarity. And here is your next topic. Quick answer is yes. There is a very big difference between British nationals and British citizens. But this is not the key question to ask. The quick question to ask is why we should differentiate between the two. And the answer lies in the term the right of abode. All British citizens have the right of abode in the UK. Right of abode means that someone is completely free from UK immigration control and they can work and they can enter or leave the UK at any point they wish. So some citizens of Commonwealth countries and all British citizens have this right of abode, but not all British nationals have the right of abode. And in order for us to understand how the British nationals types were created, it is very important to look at the historical development of the UK immigration law. There are 6 types of British nationality, and here they are. The first one is British citizens. Then we have British overseas territories citizens. Also, before it was known as British dependent territories citizens. The next one we have British overseas citizens, and then we have British subjects. And then we have British nationals overseas, and finally we have British protected persons. And in order for you to understand how these 6 types of British nationality were developed, it is very important to have a look at these dates, at these very important periods of time over which the UK immigration history was developed. Let us begin with the period before 1948. Before 1948, it was all relatively straightforward. Anyone who is connected to English, which later became British Crown, was an English, or as later was known, a British subject. So it's all straightforward. Anyone who is connected to British Crown before 1948 became a British subject. Then we have the next period between 1948 to 1983. This is when a citizen of UK and colonies was created. So between 1948 and 1983, a term known as citizens of UK and colonies was created. The next period is between 1983 to 2002. So as you remember, between 1948 and 1983, citizens of UK and colonies were created, and then between this period of time, they were divided into 3 categories. This is when the British citizenship was created. So these citizens of UK and colonies were created into British citizens, British overseas territory citizens, known as BOT. And then we have British overseas citizens, BOC. This is really important period of time because this is when the British citizens were created, and this is when they were given this right of a vote. Very, very importantly for you to note is that British Overseas Territory citizens and British Overseas citizens were not given this right of a vote, with only one exception at that point, the Falkland Islands, because they've protested when the UK government informed the colonies of the forthcoming changes. The Falkland Island was the only island which protested, and later the Gibraltar joined the list. So British Overseas Territory citizens were those who could prove that they had some connections with one of the UK colonies, and British Overseas citizens were those who could not fit into these two categories above. And the next very important period of time is after 2002. As you remember, citizens of UK and colonies were divided into three: British citizens, British Overseas Territory citizens, and British Overseas citizens. So these category of British nationality, British citizens were given right of a vote. British Overseas Territory citizens after 2002 were also given right of a vote. This is very, very important, with the exception of one territory which is known as Arturia and Deucalion. Apart from this, all other British Overseas Territories citizens were granted right of a vote. And British citizens overseas, unfortunately, they still were there without a right of a vote. So we've established how these four types of British nationality were created: British citizens, British Overseas Territory citizens, British Overseas citizens, and British subjects. And we also established that British citizens and British Overseas Territory citizens were given right of a vote. But what about British nationals overseas? Who are they? Well, these are British Overseas Territories citizens with some connection to Hong Kong who applied to register as British nationals overseas, also known this term as BNO, before the handover of Hong Kong to the People's Republic of China. And the final type of British nationality is known as British protected persons. There are actually three types of British protected persons. The first one is anyone who is either a citizen or a national of Brunei. The second type of British protected persons is when there were British protected persons immediately before 1st of January 1983. And the third type of British protected persons is aimed at children who would be born stateless after 1st of January 1983 in the UK or dependent territory, and at the time of their birth, either or both of their parents were British protected persons. As you can see, there is a big difference between British citizens and British nationals, and only British citizens and British Overseas Territories citizens were given right of a vote, and all other types of nationality, British nationality, despite the fact that they can claim that they are British nationals, unfortunately they don't have the right of a vote, and this means that they are subject to immigration controls as all other citizens who enter the UK. Only British citizens and British Overseas Territory citizens are free from immigration control because they have a right of vote in the UK. If after watching this video you've decided to deepen your knowledge in British nationality law, please visit ukvisasuccess.com/BC, where BC stands for British Citizenship, as at this page you'll find a summary of all topics I've created to explain this particular area, and also you'll find information on how you can take your British citizenship application to the next level. If you found this video useful, you can do three things right now. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can visit my free website at ukvisasuccess.com, and most importantly, you can share this video with those who may benefit from it. By sharing these videos, you may help others avoid refusals of their immigration applications. Because in immigration law, knowledge and clarity are the key ingredients to success. Thank you so much for your support and for your positive feedback, which incredibly inspires me and gives me fuel to create more and more videos clarifying various aspects of UK immigration law. Have a great day, everyone.